late to my own freaking party. I've been trying to start this video, and it's like I go in so many different directions. It's really hard to like focus, I guess, because there's so many things, so many things. You know what though? It's a process. I'll get to organize my ideas better and better with time. The more that I practice, the more that I face myself like this, it's gonna come. It's gonna come. But yeah, I wanted to expand a little bit on what I talked about for my 29th birthday. So being able to just like trust, and it's coming from a place of abundance. So I don't know if I went into details about the miracle, but it's basically um, I'm starting grad school, and since I stopped working because uh, I really wanted to just focus on school and art and just taking everything in. No income. What the fuck, right? But I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take like credit. It's gonna be fine. I'm gonna have debt, but I'll survive. Money comes, money goes. Happiness is like more important. And it so happens that a friend of mine, like we don't even talk often, but I mean, there's love and special place in my heart, but we just, it's kind of like that. We can't keep up with everybody. And it turns out she randomly is helping me out, and it's the most beautiful gift. But at the same time, it shows that if I didn't take that leap of faith, I wouldn't have received that. So I put myself in the position to be open to receive. And that is such a great moment of validation from the universe that it's like, that's what you're supposed to do, bitch. Like, that's why we're helping you out, you know? And I mean, I prayed and I asked the universe and everything. And I think it's also like asking you shall receive. And it comes in packages that we don't expect. Like I was saying in the other video, like I didn't know this is how it's gonna happen. And I'm so grateful that it even happened, that I'll be able to focus without the fear of like not being able to pay my rent. And that's huge. That's huge for me. So that came from taking that leap of faith and believing in myself, believing that I want myself to be the priority. My happiness has to be the priority because that's when I feel the most powerful, when I can just be myself. You know how like there's friends that you have like you but you can't just be your full self. It's like we can party or like hey, it's I don't know. Being able to just be with someone is so priceless, right? Someone who just gets you. And to me that's also really powerful because you can just be yourself. And when I think of like Facebook or Instagram, I feel like there's that aspect of like performativity that I'm not too comfortable with. And I know some people are able to just be on there, but I'm not, and it's okay. It like different platforms resonate with different people, I guess, like to each their own. And that's what was blocking me. Like when I don't feel comfortable, when I have blocks in my life or in certain situations, it's mostly because I feel like I can't be myself. Like there's this aspect of like having to protect myself, so having to build this wall, or like, feeling insecure and not being able to share that how I truly feel. Or, I'm thinking of like a past um, romantic thing where I felt like I had to fit this mold and I couldn't just be myself because if I was myself, then I would be rejected or I would be unlovable. And so it's always that aspect that if I'm myself, then I might be too much, I might not be enough, I might not be the right thing, the right, you know, and that's guided a lot of my decisions in a way because it's based on fear and not on trust and just being. And when I'm myself, like I can laugh, I can connect with people, and it's just, I was saying yesterday, there's power in being ourselves because that is an ability to create community. Like when I watch people on YouTube, I follow them because they're real and because it's so beautiful to have an open window, an open door to like people's lives and how they truly feel. And I don't know, it's really inspiring. It's really inspiring. And when I look at different successful artists that I'm inspired by, often they say that what people made the things that people made fun of is what helps them get success. You know, it's like just being yourself. It's like just be yourself. And there's nobody else to be. Like, what the fuck? Like, being someone else doesn't help because it's a lot of energy. But when I'm myself, I'm able to just thrive. So that's the practice that I really want to implement to just be. And you know, not being comes from a fear, right? Like I was saying in the last video, like a fear of lack. So basically, insecurity. And it's not only like, oh yeah, my mom was working a lot, you know, financial insecurity and stuff like that. It goes even deeper than this. I mean, growing up, my parents were really strict. So it came from their fears, right? They wanted to protect me as like a black girl in Montreal. And I don't know. I don't know. Not trusting a no. So like not trusting me to go like sleep over at my friend's place or ew, it's just so gross. Oh. Yeah, feeling really strict. It was really strict. And that was because of their fears. And I mean, they arrived here and went through their own struggles of like being black and like not understanding the accent and like being ostracized and all these things. So of course they wanted to make it easier for me, but it's like they projected these insecurities. And it's, I mean, it's not their fault. I mean, it goes back to fucking slavery, you know, like the post traumatic slave syndrome and how it's in our DNA, that survival mode, that like, oh, like, I have to protect myself. Oh, what's going on? Like, you know, having to always be on edge in a way, even if it doesn't manifest like, you know, like physically, but it's there. And I mean, taken from our lands and being put somewhere else, and to always be at risk of moving around, losing your family, working so hard, and not knowing what you might receive in terms of like, I don't know, food or beating. It's like, and then even if there's no slavery now, there's still a lot of oppression. So having to navigate those different systems, and so it's constantly having to protect ourselves or to let's say protect myself. And it's like, when do I get to have that moment with myself where I can just like trust? It's so hard, you know, like from generation to generation to generation. So it makes sense. It makes sense that there's fear. It makes sense to reach out for everything that's secure. Everything that's secure, whether it's a job, whether it's a lifestyle, whether it's the way of expressing myself, you know? Like, even I remember when I started doing spoken word, and there's a spoken word artist after I performed. He like has a lot of experience, and he told me, don't be afraid to be specific, because the more specific you are, the more relatable you are. I remember it like it was yesterday. And I realized that I was hiding behind my words. Here I was trying to be vulnerable because it was so hard for me because of all the walls that I had built. And I realized that even by trying to be vulnerable, I was still hiding. I was still fucking hiding. And it's so true. Like when I connect with someone, it's because we can be who like ourselves, and we can laugh, and we can just be, you know? That's when I feel at ease. And even so, okay, at some point I had a meeting with someone from an organization, like they were supposed to give me advice on something, and I was so nervous. I was so fucking nervous. And my friend was telling me, "Oh, but remember that event you went to? It's like a dramaturgy event." And she was like, "Oh, but you felt so comfortable there because you could be yourself. So it's not something that you can take away. So why not just be yourself, you know?" Like we talked, and that's the conclusion that we got to. And it's like, oh yeah, true. And then I had the call, and I was just myself. I was like, what the hell, why did I put all that block? Like, oh, again, that performance aspect to like not disappoint. I think that's also like another level, like not wanting to disappoint my parents. They did so much for me to be here, and you know that gaze of like what others are going to think of you, like that's something cultural as well that I could also expand on in another video. But just to say that that sense of like not being able to be myself would come from a place of fear. So being able to trust the universe, man, trust myself that what I feel good in is what I'm supposed to do. The spaces that I feel good in are the spaces that I need to be in. If I create a space and I can just be me, then that's the space that I'm supposed to be in. And it's like only good can come out of it. But if I'm in a space where I feel oppressed, I feel this, I feel that, like, where's the space to thrive? And I mean, I don't want to speak for other people. Like, this is just my own experience. And like Bell Hooks was saying in All About Love, like we like some people don't necessarily have the possibility to like risk it, you know? So I'm very privileged in that sense that I was able to just be like, fuck it, I'm taking that leap of faith. Um, so yeah. Right. So oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So yeah, that's that. Blessings, being myself. So much power in that. So yeah, I don't want to hide. I don't want to hide because like I can't be nobody else than myself. I can't. And this fear has been ingrained in us, black people, queer people, women, like all those intersections. Like we've been taught to like hide. We've been taught that like there's safety is not an option. So I really want to nurture that sense of abundance, of trust. You know that saying, existing is resisting? I feel like it's so real. It's so, so fucking real. Because after all that, we're still here, you know? We're still fucking here. So being able to celebrate, it's like you're able to be yourself. You're able to connect. You're able to build with that trust in yourself. Like, damn, that's huge. That's huge. I'm just learning about it now. Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'll do a part two on I'll do a part two eventually. I don't know. I don't know. My brain is not working right now. Bloop, bloop. You sleepy baby. Yeah. I already talked to some friends about that, but if you happen to be a friend that I didn't talk to about this, let's talk about it. Let's talk. You heard?